Our next inductee to the Garland Sports Hall of Fame is Uzooma Okeke of Garland High School, and his video will be coming right up.
Uzooma Okeke was an athletic powerhouse during his 4 years at Garland High School. The 1988 Owl graduate was a two-sport athlete, excelling in football and track and field. Uzo's achievements included graduating with honors and being listed on the Garland High School 1987 all-time football team as a defensive tackle. His highlight as a Garland Owl was playing Roosevelt High School at the Cotton Bowl, the Owls' first playoff game since 1978. Uzo's grades and football prowess made him a perfect candidate to be recruited by Southern Methodist University. He became one of the few football scholarship recipients at SMU after it was allowed to return from the NCAA death penalty. Uzo was a 4-year starter playing both defensive end and offensive left tackle. His highlights include being the recipient of the Mustang Award, playing in the Miracle on Mockingbird game, where the Mustangs scored 17 points in the final minutes, granting SMU a 31-30 victory against Connecticut and beating the Arkansas Razorbacks in 1992 in the last game of the season. Uzo received his degree from SMU in 1997. Uzo went on to play in the Canadian Football League for 13 years. He began his professional career with the Shreveport Pirates when SMU great and Hall of Famer Forrest Gregg recruited him during the expansion of the CFL into the United States. Uzo then played 2 seasons for Ottowa. However, it was his years in Montreal with the Alouettes that saw his career accelerate into the exceptional. He won a Grey Cup with the Alouettes in 2002, playing in a total of 5 Grey Cups, becoming a 7-time All-Star, and was the league's outstanding defensive lineman in 1999. Uzo retired in 2006, and in 2014 was inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Uzo and his wife, Tracy, are the proud parents of 2 daughters, Kayla and Lauren, who are attending Garland ISD schools. Uzo is the Assistant Director of U.S. Canadian Scouting for the Montreal Alouettes. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Uzooma Okeke.
Thank you very much.
A 1972 graduate of South Garland High School, Ken
to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We'd like to congratulate all the other nominees that are celebrating here today with me. And would like to also thank the Garland Sports Hall of Fame for this honor. It means a lot to me, my family, my friends. I'd like to thank my Heavenly Father for this honor. All the glory goes to Him. He blessed me with the talent, the family, and the friends. And I would like to especially thank my mother that's here today for nominating me for this award, filling out all the paperwork, talking to all the people, making all the calls. It is her commitment and her persistence that I appreciate the most. She's a great mother. She raised 4 kids. They all were able to go out to college and to achieve a lot of things. And she's the bedrock of our family. I always loved football. My favorite teams growing up were the San Diego Chargers and Chicago Bears. Watching Michael Singletary, Walter Payton play. Those are the kind of players that I wanted to be. Intense, determined, guys that played with heart. And I wanted to play football, I remember, and I had to get a permission slip signed. And I went to my mother and I said, I would like to play football. She goes, "You're going to get hurt. You're too small. You're going to get hurt. There's no way you're going to play football." So a coworker persuaded her to let me play. And I thank that coworker every time that I think about my career. That coworker persuaded her to let me play. And instead of getting hurt, I probably hurt a couple of people, by accident, but, that's just part of the game. I started playing football at Sellers Middle School. I remember attending the pep rallies, wearing your jersey on Fridays for Friday night football. And we lost a lot of games that year, I remember. So I decided to retire. I said, after that, I'm done with football. So I went into high school, and I said, my freshman year, I'm not going to play football. I'm just going to concentrate on my studies. But I remember studying and going home and then wanting to go out and play with my friends, and my friends were out on the football field. I said, well, they told me, you need to come out and play with us. So I started playing football that year, my JV year, and I enjoyed it. And the things that I remember are the coaches. The 2 coaches that I remember the most was Coach Scott Smith and Coach Dennis Harris. Scott Smith came in 1985. He became the new head coach for Garland High School. And Coach Dennis Harris was the D-line coach and the defensive coordinator. And they both came in, and Scott Smith is this wiry, kind of shorter coach. He was always hyped 24/7, just yelling and screaming and getting everybody amped up. And Dennis and Coach Harris was like a shorter, kind of quiet guy, older guy. But I remember him sitting us down before the game was like, or before the season was like, looking at each and every one of us and saying, you're going to be an all-star. You're going to be all-district. We're going to make it to the playoffs this year. And he pointed to each and every one of us and he told us, even before we even played the game. And that's the kind of things that you remember is when people believe in you. They see something in you that you don't see. But he saw something in each and every one of us that we believe in, and we held on. We went and we played, and we made it to the playoffs that year. Like in the video, we went and played Roosevelt. And I remember just the little things that we did during the year. I remember, skipping practice with Ruben Amasquita. He would take us out in his IROC Z. I remember also getting paddled for skipping that practice too. I remember working out in those Converse high tops, with the flat bottoms, no arch. I remember playing on Friday night in front of a sold-out crowd. I mean, all the stands were filled. Everybody was standing along the fence because it was the first game that if we won that game, we were going to go to the playoffs. And we were playing Highland Park, and I remember playing both ways. And I was so tired after we won that I couldn't even run around the lap to congratulate everybody. But it was just those memories in the back of the bus, coming home for a win, chanting, we're going to the hole. Remember that? Those are the kind of things that you remember. And I just want to thank all the teammates that I played with, Darryl Ridge, Charlie Lee, Everett Jackson, Shelby J. Rowe, Roger Earl, Russell McMillan, Ruben Amasquita, The Missile, Vernon Shaw, Patrick Williams, Carl McDay, Carl Williams, and many more that should be mentioned, who without them, my success would not be possible. I would also like to thank, again, Coach Smith and Coach Harris for their advice regarding life after high school. I was starting my school visits, and right before my visit to Baylor, Coach Harris told me to wear baggy clothes. He goes, when you go in there and you meet these people, you want to see that you're big or whatever. And I can tell him now I don't have that problem now, but back then I did. I was like 6'2", 220. So I was not D-line material at that time. But Coach Swift also persuaded me to switch my commitment from UNT to SMU. He just got hired on as assistant with Coach Greg at SMU, and he wanted to persuade me to go to SMU, but I'd already verbally committed to UNT. And he suggested I go actually talk to Mr. Johnson, Homer B. Johnson, regarding SMU. And Mr. Johnson suggested that I go and take a visit. So I went to visit, and I met Forrest Gregg, a Hall of Famer. I sat down there in his office, and he shook my hand. His hands, like my hands are big, but his hands are probably twice as big as this. Big knuckles, big gnarly knuckles. And he had a big ring on his finger, and it had the single diamond. And he had played in the first Super Bowl. And I was just mesmerized by him. And he told me, you should come to SMU, young man. He goes, if the coach that I hired, Coach Smith, can't persuade you to come to SMU, I should fire him. He was kidding, but I was hooked on SMU for then on. I'd like to honor my wife and two daughters, my wife Tracy, my #1 supporter. She's a great mother and a great friend. Thank you for all the support you've given me. I'd like to thank Kayla and Lauren for your love and support. My two daughters attend Garland schools. My daughter attends Garland High School right now. And I heard that there will be a picture in the cafeteria and for the Sports Hall of Fame, and I'm just going to be looking down on her as she's eating her quesadillas and her fruit snacks. My eyes are going to be on you. I would like to thank also my friends who've made it out here to share this wonderful experience. Alexi, my sister, Rodney, my brother, Tiffany, Uncle Jay, Aunt Lex, Queen, Ngozi, Lisa, DJ, Heather, Mama, of course, Uncle Monty, Lee Scott, Cherie, Chef, thank you for the jerk chicken last night, it was very good. Roger and Mina, and I'd like to thank you for this special occasion. I will always cherish this day. I just wanted to leave you with one quote about sports and what they mean to me throughout my life. Sports creates a bond between teammates that lasts a lifetime. It also gives your life structure, discipline, and a genuine, sincere, pure fulfillment that few other areas of endeavor provide. You know, everyone working together, sacrificing for the good of the team to reach that ultimate goal. And that's what we all strive for every day. I'd like to thank the Sports Hall of Fame again, all the organizers, the board, everybody who allowed me to be a part of this great event. Thanks again, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
This is special recognition in honor of Uzooma Okeke, Garland Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Whereas Uzo was an athletic powerhouse during his 4 years at Garland High School and was a 1988 Al graduate that was a two-sport athlete excelling in both football and track. And whereas Uzo still has strong ties to the Canadian Football League, where he serves as Assistant Director of U.S. Canadian Scouting for the Montreal, how do you say that? Alouettes?
Alouettes.
Alouettes. Yeah, I think there's a song. Yeah. Okay. And whereas members of the City Council recognize and honor and congratulate Uzooma Okeke on his service to the community and his induction into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame on September 23rd, 2016. Now, therefore, I, Douglas Athos, Mayor of the City of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon Uzo. Sir?